Hello and welcome to Suiting Up for Life, here on the Omega Republic. I am your Ark, the cute and lovable DJ of the furry fandom that's dipped in awesome sauce. And that's all you really need to know, as everything else is irrelevant. Which includes the horse with no name, which we'll not speak of right now. Or perhaps I just forgot his name. Either way, no one likes a heretic, so we're going to move on to our guest of honor.
Ooh.
If you follow him on YouTube, then you might already know. That's if you all didn't cheat and just read the video title, you cheeky bastards. And yet most of you all don't read the description, looking at you two hot for angst number 42.
Oh my gosh.
So without further ado, special guest, whose name the teachers already know. Why don't you introduce yourself and we'll dive in with you in the hot seat.
Hey guys, it's SeetherCord's here, and I'm on this Omega Republic podcast episode interview thing. I hope I got it right.
And of course, Copper will probably be joining us some other time. He's just been...
no Copper.
No, he's in the mines, mining for the rest of that copper.
Gotta get that lapis lazuli.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Okay, where do I start? Just kind of like tell my story or something, I guess?
Who you are, what you do, stuff like that.
Well, it's the first time I've ever done an interview for someone. It's always been me interviewing other people, but now it's my turn to get interviewed, I guess. Well, I'm SeetherCord's on YouTube. I've been making videos involving the furry fandom mostly, or furry commentating related videos for the most part, for about 3 or so years now. I originally started off when I got my fursuit pretty much just making fursuit dance videos, and I moved on from that, and now I just make audio commentary videos about the furry fandom and everything. And I have pretty much just grown my YouTube channel out of that. I've produced around 300 videos around the furry fandom on my main channel, SeetherCord's, and I've produced about 400 gaming videos on my gaming channel, SeetherCord's Games, and my other gaming channel, my non-commentary gaming channel, which is just silent gameplays. I have about 150 of those on that channel called SeetherChills. And yeah, I've pretty much just been doing that. I have a main series called Seether Talks, where I talk about, for the most part, furry-centered topics within the furry fandom. I have my SeetherCast series, which is my own form of podcast where I interview other people. I have my furry review / analysis series where I review certain forms of furry-related media, be it actual furry fandom or not, or just anthropomorphic stuff. And I also have my Seether Rainbow series where I just talk about personal things for the most part. And that's pretty much everything about what I pretty much discuss about online in what I do and everything. And I have my fursuit still, but I don't really use it that much anymore. But yeah, I just make videos with the furry fandom, and I got semi-decent fan base that's got me some traction online. Not a lot, but some.
Yeah, so you got 400,000 or 500,000 different channels.
500,000 channels. More like 3.
Well, that's close enough for me.
Yes.
Now, you've actually been a furry YouTuber for how long, and what reason exactly as to why you chose to pretty much putting yourself out there, I guess. And before you answer that, let me just go ahead and tell the purpose out there. No, Seether's not putting himself out there in that way, at least last time I checked.
Unless you donate $100 to me monthly on Patreon, then I will put myself out there for you.
Oh my.
Top tier Patreon supporter.
Well, at least we know what he's doing with premium services.
No, I'm kidding. No. Pay my bills. No, I'm kidding. Well, I originally wanted to do furry-related videos because I joined the furry fandom back in 2015 or so. I think it was 2015. But then I started making videos around late 2016, early 2017 related to furries. The reason I made furry-related videos out of all media is to make furry-related content. Is because I've always been a YouTube fan. I've always been someone who enjoyed YouTube videos. I've been watching YouTube videos since 2008, I would say. And that was pretty much my introduction to using a computer and everything. Yeah, I pretty much started off with enjoying a lot of gaming related channels for the most part. And I got into watching vlog channels and discussion channels and things like that. And to the point where eventually I have old YouTube channels that have sadly been deleted. I first started uploading videos in around I think it was July 2013, I think. they're still not released, but I've been making videos for this site for around 6 to 7 years now, and only videos from like 2017 onwards are still up. My oldest channel was entitled, if you look it up, you'll probably find some like collab videos I did. Double J Studios 14, which is a very cringy name for a channel. And I made it when I was 14 years old. And I would basically do like typical gaming Let's Play videos with freaking camcorder in front of the TV. I thankfully don't do that anymore. I have a capture card and like recording software for my computer and my consoles. So don't worry about that. I don't do that anymore. But you know, I was lazy and dumb back then, which I still am lazy and dumb, but not as lazy and dumb. Like, you know, IQ used to be like 15, it's gone up to like 22. So
moving on up into the world. All right.
Pretty much. Other than that, I also don't really dabble into too much other things. At one point, I did do the fursuit dancing, but then I realized I'm not that physically inclined to dancing and all. Like, I used to play a lot of sports back when I was younger, and I'm a fairly athletic person, but I don't have the rhythm for dancing and all. I don't do Zumba well, but anyway, Zumba fitness.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Now, of course, some folks actually go through drastic changes with their OC over time as they start making alterations to reflect on what has happened in their lives. But you and I seem to actually have not changed much in time.
Dude, I've had like 3 different versions of my persona over the time. What are you talking about?
Just only 3, that's all.
What, are you like on DJ Arc version 15.7 or something? Is this like a freaking World of Warcraft update or something? I don't know.
Windows is updating.
Oh my god. My persona is currently in the Windows 7 era right now.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Pretty
either
much.
way, I guess that makes us ageless hotties then.
Hotties?
Oh yeah.
What, people love Windows 7 or something? Like, is that like superior? I don't know. I'm a Mac user, so I don't really. I've had one PC related computer before. It was a laptop. I had an Acer laptop. You remember those?
Acer, yeah, they're not bad.
The one I had was shitty though.
I usually substitute them if I cannot find an Asus.
We're talking like less than, like, at minimum, like $50, at maximum like 150 to 200, and it was 2008. So yeah.
Well,
but in terms of developing my persona, I have my 1.0 version, I have my 2.0 version, I have a 2.5 version and a 3.0 version, and 3.0 and 2.5 are like fairly recent, like past 3 or 4 months. But my very first persona design came out like 3 or so years ago, and then a year or 2 later, that's when 2.0 came out, and then my last version, which is going to be my final version of this current persona. If I ever want to change my persona again or like update it, it's going to have to be a new one. So yeah, Seether is kind of like reaching the end of its lifespan right now.
It's like perfect Seether right now.
Perfect. I don't know. Like, I'm on the last one for the SeetherCord's trilogy right now. You know, last movie's coming out. It's going to be a very epic ending. It's like, this is the current Seether persona I have is currently the Avengers Endgame of my sonas. So it's all leading up to this.
We are not going to go into those adventures. They have an entire conversation with that its own self.
Yes.
So what gave you the idea of your latest OC design?
Well, I always found the color palettes I use to be very, they mix very well with me. I like the color ocean blue, baby blue, light blue. I love blue all the way around. Except dark blue. I don't really like dark blue, but every other version of blue, I love it. I think the color pink is a pretty cool color. I know it's usually seen as like a very feminine color, but back in the day, like 100, 200 years ago, it was seen as a very masculine color. You know that?
Yeah, originally the pink and blue gender thing was swapped. For some oddball reason, I have no idea why.
Yeah, I don't even think in general stances, like, blue is seen as a manly color for the most part. I think it's like green and all are seen as like manly colors. Yeah, blue, I love blue. I think pink mixes well, and I loved pink, blue, and black were always like 3 colors I felt like really fit my design very well. And also, later on, I added in a lot of red, and I added in some white and some yellow, black stripes and everything, and like adding in the black tips to my hair. I love that. And updating it, like with all three versions, have always been kind of like changes throughout my life. I would represent like version 1.0 represented me when I was like very, very young and all, like very slender, slim, and everything like that. Pretty much like me when I first entered the fandom and I was, like boy kind of thing. Excuse that language. Pretty much that. And then version 2.0 kind of represented me maybe from like, I'd say like 2016, 17, things like that. Early 2018, where it was the more darker years of my life. 2.0 is a lot more on the shady looking side, very like uglier kind of thing, like not really appealing to look at because it kind of represents more of like the darker side. But then 3.0 is kind of like a new resurgence, a new breath of fresh air that's like more fixed and all. 2.0 represented me during a part of my life when I was a lot heavier, and now I've slimmed down a lot, and 3.0 is a more slimmer version like that. But also 3.0 is way longer hair. Funny thing, like as time went on, I lost weight, but I gained a lot of hair. It's funny. I have to keep my hair in ponytails to keep my hair out of my face. And also the beard growing into the goatee, which I don't have in the Sona. I don't think my Seether Sona would look good with a goatee.
Yeah, it would be quite strange, especially with pastel colors. Then again,
Pink beard.
Blue beard.
Blue beard. A blue beard with blue chin. Oh god.
Well, I guess you could say that's the pastel blue and pink color that makes you look like a cotton candy wolf was that you instantly thought of.
Yes. I don't know. I don't like cotton candy. Like the only time I would ever get reminded of Seether through cotton candy would be like if you go to like an ice cream shop and you would see the cotton candy flavored ice cream. It has the exact same colors.
Interesting enough, that's actually one of the more popular flavors. I mean, years ago when I used to be an ice cream handler.
I never really was an ice cream guy. Personally, I never like enjoyed ice cream. I'm more of like a salty, like hot food guy. I want something that fills me up. I don't like sugar. I don't like sugary foods that like, make you like not hungry or don't fill you up.
Yeah, interesting enough, one of the things that I really never quite got my head wrapped around was that people would always eat ice cream during the cold winter months.
Yeah, I don't know. Like some people like a frozen treat,
Yeah, I suppose they just like getting frozen to death, inside and out.
Frozen nips.
Oh my.
Yes.
Cut through glasses.
Oh my god.
So how was it exactly that he got into the fandom anyways?
I would say it's mostly like through my interest in Nintendo games. A lot of Nintendo franchises and even like some Sony franchises too, but mostly Nintendo. But Nintendo, Sony, and a little bit of Sega really helped me have some interest in these characters. I've always liked the anthropomorphic design. I thought it looked really cool. I was never the type to really like sexualize it though, as some other people would. But I don't know, I just felt oddly satisfying like seeing the designs of them, and I would enjoy making characters that would center around anthropomorphism and furries and all. And then I found out there was like a lot of online communities, and the first you learn through fan art also, and unfortunately a lot of the fan art kind of like curses stuff when it comes to these characters, especially the Nintendo ones like Star Fox fan art, Animal Crossing Isabelle fan art. Oh my god. Furries ruined those characters. Why would you do that? Yes. I actually remember the first time I ever really got involved with furries was through Skype. And it usually wouldn't be me looking for furry friends. It would be usually my gamer friends I would meet online. And it would just so happen like one of them happened to be a furry. And that's how I only knew like two of them through that. But then I eventually looked up on Google and I found a Reddit thread with a link to the official Skype furries group. And I don't think it's the most important furry related group on Skype. It was labeled as Skype furries. And I remembered it was New Year's Eve and I was all alone, and I was like, my family was out and I was just by myself, and I was like my 15, 16-year-old self. I was looking online for like friends to hang out with. Maybe I can meet some people through the furry fandom, and I found someone who's going to add me, and I was like, hey, I can't wait to join Skype furries and all. On New Year's Eve, I want to party. He's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm really drunk right now. And I'm like, oh, come on, dude.
15, 16 years old, home alone.
Yeah, I'm forever alone. Tear.
Sounds like a movie.
Yes, but oh my god, Home Alone. Anyway, but then I joined Skype furries, and then being in that group, someone added me to another furry related group, and then they added from that group, someone in that group added me to another furry related group, which I get annoyed because quite a couple people in the furry fandom, when you're on Skype or Discord, they'll just add you to other groups without your consent, and it's annoying. And you have like 50 freaking like furry related Skype groups. There's like one called Fluff Butts, and there's one called the Salt Mine. It was crazy.
Everyone wanted to own a group and have everyone else invited.
Yeah, and the next thing you know, like freaking, you're getting like 100,000 notifications from this new group you didn't even know you were a part of.
The good old days.
Yes, pretty much. That's pretty much where I started off from at that point. Then I did hop onto Discord a little later on. My main reason for going to Discord was because once Microsoft bought Skype, they kind of messed it up, and like Skype started getting really, really, really low quality, and Discord was just in the game. But the only thing that was holding me on Skype other than Discord was because Discord still lacked the screen sharing ability. Then they finally gave it to people who were like, I think had premium or like got access to beta elements of it. And once they finally gave it to everyone, I was like, bye Skype. And then I'm officially now on Discord. And furry related groups, I'm not a part of many. I focus on my own furry Discord server primarily, that for my YouTube channel and all. I don't really get involved with that. But in terms of like finding people in the furry fandom, it's mostly now through furry YouTubers or people who watch my videos that want to, talk to me or something. And to anyone watching out there, if you want to message me about something, I can't assure that I'll reply, but don't feel scared to. It's not like I'm going to just ignore your message because there's too many. There's not that many people messaging me. I'm not as popular as some people make me out to be. Like in the game of YouTube, like 7,000 subs ain't nothing. It really isn't. But if you do message me, I'll more than likely hit you up. If you actually like send me a genuine like, hi, how you doing kind of thing, instead of being those few people who watch my videos and they just send me memes and that's it. And there's no reason to respond.
Or it could just be like me, one of those creepy little guys in the corner in the shadows, just watching.
Yes.
Silently.
Oh my gosh. Pretty much.
Now you're a fursuiter as well as your girlfriend, and you two actually go out fursuiting together, or are you two more of the behind closed doors type?
Behind closed doors. I'm not really public about fursuiting. If I ever do bring up the fact that I'm a furry, I more so like show them my YouTube channel rather than me being a fursuiter, because I invested about $350 to $400 on my first and only partial fursuit. And it was from the creator called Blue Wolf Studios, or I think that was, no, their old name was Knuckler Fur Creations back when I got in. Now they're known as Blue Wolf Studios. Look that up on Facebook, Fur Affinity, everything like that. I would recommend Facebook more so if you want to get a commission. I remember that my girlfriend and I, Cramshy, we both got, this was before we were dating, so like, but we came kind of like closer through getting our fursuits together. We both got our fursuits commissioned together at the same time, and we both got them for around $350 to $400 each. We were like the last two people that the Blue Wolf Studios got commissions from before they raised their prices from like $350 to $400 for a partial suit to about $600, $700 per suit. So we got really lucky there. But I will say I wouldn't say the money was a good investment. Even though I do fursuit, I'll still do it on occasion, but really I don't think it's something I want to invest too much money into ever again. Maybe in the future, like if I ever get more social, because I'm in the deep trenches of Mississippi, man. There's nothing out here to do, and there's nowhere to fursuit, and you will get beat up if you do it. And also, it's hot in Mississippi. Why would you want to fursuit when it's hot? And it's like hot all year round. It's terrible. For like 9 months out of the year, it's hot. I really wouldn't. I'll still fursuit, but if I ever say I'm a furry, I'm going to more so associate with the creations and YouTube videos that I make for the fandom rather than just the fursuiting. But out of like the 10 or so times I've fursuited since I got my suit 3 years ago, I've only like had a lot of fun, like maybe twice. And it was, oh man, when I went in January, it was a crazy night. Holy crap, it was crazy. Freaking like going everywhere. I freaking tripped and nearly collapsed because it was so fucking hot in there with like 10 other fursuiters. We doing like, fursuiter walking line, having like literally like nearly 100 different people wanting to take photos with me and everyone else. That was crazy, but it was fun. Make sure you bring a water bottle, definitely. Some people don't think they need water when they go fursuiting. Bring water or you're gonna pass out and probably get an ambulance called on you, because that almost happened to me. Oh man.
So you literally turned into a jerky.
I turned into a beef jerky?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Just a bit. It's how you feel whenever you're roasting your butt off.
Oh my god. Yes.
So do either of you go to conventions?
Me or Gramsci?
Yeah.
Well, Gramsci, she focuses a lot more on going to the Brazilian fur festivals because she currently lives in the portions of Paraguay and Brazil, respectively. She lives like right in between both of them. She goes to attend Brazil. I think it's called Brazil Fur Fest, and she's been attending it almost every year. She didn't do it this past year because money and also funding our relationship and everything and visiting. But yeah, she has attended that one a few years, and that's pretty much the biggest name, Brazil Fur Fest. Brazil centered furry convention. It's pretty big. Other than that, there's no really any other like major ones in Paraguay or Brazil. There's mostly like fur meets and little like subsections of conventions that have furry centered parts to it. Other than that, on my own end, I haven't attended an actual furry convention before, but I have attended quite a couple cons that are furry centered. It's just I haven't attended a furry convention yet because they're all too far from Mississippi. Like whenever I do get to the point where I will go to a furry convention, it will more than likely be Furry Weekend Atlanta or FWA. And that's gonna, if I can afford Atlanta, Georgia. But yeah, we will go there, hopefully. But I will stick to still like every year, every 2 years, I'm going to stick to New Orleans Wizard World Comic Con. Go there. That's a great convention. There's also a MechaCon that happened this past weekend. You can go and check that one out in New Orleans as well. So that's July for MechaCon, January for New Wizard World, respectively. A lot of furries attend both of them. Actually, I think MechaCon had a furry panel or fursuiter panel there as well at an anime Comic Con convention. So that's a pretty cool one.
Well, it just looks like you're going to have to go ahead and find the best furry convention on that side of the Mississippi River, then.
Oh my god.
We're going to be doing this all day long.
Oh my god. Just talk about furries, nothing else. No, only furry conventions, this whole interview podcast thing.
Well, you're actually not only a gamer, but also a collector.
Mm-hmm.
And what exactly are you collecting in terms of games, and how extensive has your archive gotten so far?
Well, the thing is, I found it interesting you're bringing that up because, like, I talk about it a lot, and I play a lot of retro games on my gaming channel. Which can I actually go into furries and gaming channels for a second?
Sure.
Thank you. I think you can agree, and I think you've heard about this, that like in terms of like growing a successful gaming channel on YouTube, that's pretty much non-existent at this point. You know, you can't really do that anymore unless you already have a successful channel and like, hey, I'm going to start a gaming channel on my side channel, you know?
Yeah, everybody's pipe dream.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of like furry YouTubers I've seen where they have like thousands upon thousands of subscribers already from their fursuiting videos or their fursuit vlog videos or their furry comedy skit videos, and they start a gaming channel and then they make like a few videos on it, barely any views, and compared to the first channel that has like thousands upon thousands of subscribers, like, you know, the gaming channel will have like 100 at the most, 200 maybe subs overall, probably like 10 or so views per video on the gaming channel, and they give up on it. Me, on the other hand, I pretty much suffered the same fate. I've been making videos on there consistently, not fully consistently, I've taken breaks from it for about 2 to 3 years now. I've done 400 videos, and I started off pretty bad, but now it's gotten up to about nearly 450 subs. And I don't really care about subs at the end of the day. I care about making the content I want to make, and I enjoy making gaming videos. That's what I started in the beginning. And when I do get tired of making my furry videos on my main channel, which I do get a little tired of making furry videos, but I always bounce back. I will say that doing the gaming channel while I do on the side helps me get through that rut of when I'm making the furry videos. But don't expect them to ever die out anytime soon. I still got a lot of furry videos to do, but gaming stuff also consistent. But the no commentary gaming channel, where there's no commentary, the third channel, I only update that when I have free time. But I bring that up because I don't really ever show off the gaming collection. I thought about making a side series on the gaming channel where I like show off what I've collected and everything, but I really haven't had the time to do that, and I have to get out the recording equipment for like recording stuff, and it's annoying. I don't have the time really and all, and I'm not really good at like saying stuff on camera, so that would be kind of weird. But you are asking, if I finally get back to what you were asking about what I have in my collection.
Yeah.
I am collecting mostly Nintendo, but I am getting to collecting a little bit of Sony stuff also. Like I just got a PlayStation 1 recently, and I have a PS2. I gotta get a PS3 soon. And I got a few PS1 games, but however, it's I still want to focus on Nintendo primarily because most of the games I've grown up with and played for most of my life were Nintendo, but I'm collecting a little bit of PlayStation stuff. I might get to Sega systems. I have a Sega Dreamcast also, but Microsoft, I have my 360. I enjoyed it, but original Xbox and Xbox One, not really my cup of tea. And I might try it. And if I can find a game that might interest me, I'll probably get the system and probably like get one game for it. And maybe like if I enjoy it, the controller feel, then I'll probably get more games going on. But yeah, maybe the only thing for Xbox One that interests me is Rare Replay, where it shows a lot of the classic Rare games like Conquer and Banjo-Kazooie. Might give me interest in an Xbox One. Yeah, but now I do some Steam stuff. I like Portal, I like Team Fortress 2, I like Undertale, things like that. I love those two. I'm never going to really be interested in collecting like big box PC games because those are kind of pointless and not really like worth anything or any of my interests either. But to get to Nintendo, I have a lot of Nintendo stuff. I have almost every home console I got. All I'm missing is an NES and a Super Nintendo, and I should be good to go. I got a lot of Wii games. I got a lot of GameCube games. I just got my N64 collection started up. I'm building up my handheld games like Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, DS, 3DS. I am going for a complete GameCube and Nintendo 64 set. I'm going to collect every game, both of those systems respectfully, because those two mean the world to me. And in terms of like actually collecting for it, like in terms of like ratio of good games to bad games, both of those systems have, for the most part, pretty solid games. Like there's still some shovelware garbage, but for the most part, there's not as much as the Wii has, because the Wii has a lot of shitty shovelware games. But yeah, I'm going for that. I'm also going to go for maybe some Japanese and PAL region games, like PAL European stuff, and get some like Japanese and European systems as well, if I can get the money, because that's when the big pricey dollar is going to come in.
Well, sounds like you're quite the collector and a bit of a hipster.
Why hipster? GameCube is hipster? Or Nintendo 64?
No, simply because the big box game's too good for you.
The big box PC games? Oh my god. Okay, like to be honest, who buys those anymore? I don't know a single person who buys physical copies of PC games anymore.
No, they don't.
Do they still sell them?
Yeah.
God, you got like a physical copy of Minecraft for the PC or something? It's just, it's that's a dying industry, big box PC games. But yeah. And overall, in terms of like how many games I own, I've always kind of like focused for the most part on getting the quality games that most of them tend to be cost kind of pretty penny. I am standing around the 100 something, around 100 to 200 games. I'm getting closer to getting the 200 though. So maybe in a few months I might get up to 200 video games, but I will limit myself. Like after GameCube and N64 is done, I'm only going to focus on getting the quality stuff because I don't want to own too many physical possessions personally. Like some people, like some of these YouTubers, these retro gaming YouTubers have like 8,000 games, and I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and of course, so where and what would you get the storage for all of that stuff?
Like, I know this one YouTuber, I'm not going to say his username, he's pretty popular, he's a retro gaming YouTuber. Mm-hmm. He had an incident with, like, his house flooding, and he put his entire gaming collection, his game room with all of his equipment and gaming collection stuff, he put it in the basement. And I'm like, you don't do that. Like, you are going, like, thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of expensive, rare items in the basement that could flood.
Yeah, it's a dumb move, and I'm just like cringing at it.
He claimed that he had insurance coverage for his gaming collection. I don't know if that's possible, but
yeah, it is. I mean, you can put pretty much insurance on anything as long as it has value.
I would more be inclined, though, to have insurance on my home and having somewhere to sleep.
Alright, so how much would you say the furry community has actually impacted your life?
I would say it's impacted me a lot more a few years prior or so. If it wasn't for the furry fandom, I wouldn't have my girlfriend. I wouldn't have a channel with a lot of subscribers. Not too many, but I have like a following that I appreciate and enjoy, and I have a set of people who like to come to my channel. Because I don't know if I ever told this, because I don't care about subscribers as much anymore, because I've been making videos on the site for like 7-8 years, and all the channels I did in the past, it would take me like the SeetherCord's channel that I started in 2015 after making videos for like 4 or 5 years is the first channel to ever get to 100 subscribers. Like my very first YouTube channel took me a year and a half to get 90. And I made like 300-400 videos, and I spent hours upon hours making videos as well. They were terrible videos, but they were videos I put time into. And I'm at least grateful that I have people that can come back to my content and watch it and will like enjoy it and comment. Because I feel bad for channels that are just starting out, which takes them a long time to get like at least their first 20 or so subscribers. Because you tend to have, of those people, like you tend to have some of them where they don't have any like consistent viewers. Like they don't get comments, they don't get people who are actually looking forward to it, so they're kind of alone. And I'm very fortunate at least to have like, you know, my small niche of people watching rather than like hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of comments I have to like look through for the ones I can recognize. You know, I'm very grateful for it.
And of course, that's one of the things that's beautiful as well, because you can be able to go ahead and engage individuals. And if you're a bit of an outgoing type person, it's a great way to meet new folks.
It is, but I will say I'm not like the type of person who like, I've always, for the most part of my life, I've been like hanging out and going, most of my socializing has been through online, which is a good thing. At the same time, I don't like it because now as I'm getting older and I'm in college now, I'm trying to get more IRL social. And a lot of that involves probably not furries. Like I'm getting to the point where I'll still make furry related content and do my job on YouTube, but however, I'm not going to like make furry be a primary focus in my socializing anymore. Like I'm not going to go to meetups as often anymore. I'm not going to get involved with making everything in my life furry. I'm just going to do that, stick furriness to YouTube and the occasional convention and meetup or two and fursuiting and such. And my girlfriend obviously got the furry thing going on, but that's it. Other aspects of my life I want to like try to go forwards more, like filmmaking. I'm doing that. I want to go for that in college, hopefully, if I can. And game collecting and gaming. I love gaming.
Everybody loves gaming. You can never go wrong with that.
Some people don't, but you know.
Oh yes, they prefer sports. The outside athletic jocks.
Or there are people that like sports games like EA Sports or FIFA, or they like mobile games.
Yeah, mobile games is pretty much #1 hit, really, of platforms.
That and sports games. Sports games make a ton of money, dude. Like, they really do. I didn't know this until like maybe a year or two ago, but I found out that a sports games genre, there are people like, you know, you have the gamers that like Nintendo and Sega and they like RPGs or MMORPGs. Like there's a specific group of people, like the only types of video games they play are sports games, and they like go out and buy systems and consoles or gaming PCs just to play sports games. It's crazy. And they like get the new basketball game, they get the new NCAA game, they get the new NFL game every year. And hey, more power to them. If that's what you want to play, if you have fun. The only sports games I've ever really enjoyed are the Tiger Woods PGA Tour games and the NFL Blitz game on the N64. That was pretty good.
You've done interviews with a few folks. You would... How would you say is the most memorable that you have interviewed? Or who would you say, should I say?
You were pretty funny to interview. It was pretty fun to watch, to like hang out with you and do our podcast on my channel about a week or two ago. That was pretty fun. Or was it 3 weeks ago? I don't know. But that was fun. I would say getting to do a podcast with Chip Flake was pretty fun. They're such a sweet person, and I appreciate all the help they've given me, not only in YouTube, but in like, you know, personal life. They gave me a lot of they gave me financial support, which I didn't expect them to do because I didn't even ask for it, and yet they were still like very humble and gave me stuff to support my issues with my relationship and like funding like visas and stuff like that and plane tickets. I had a lot of fun doing it with them, and I'm grateful and very happy that Chip Flake got a huge following on YouTube with 300,000 subscribers. I also really had a lot of fun collaborating with Cothrix, even though he's kind of the more controversial figure now. We don't really talk anymore after that, but it was still nice back when he was, you know, not as controversial to make videos with. I enjoyed my video with Rage Hound, and she's gotten a lot of success on YouTube for the most part. Yeah.
That sounds like an interesting name, Rage Hound.
Yeah, pretty much.
Disco stuff.
I was going to do a collab with Majira Strawberry, who's like the biggest furry YouTuber on the site. I was going to do a collab with him, but then I had some things come up in my personal life back in late 2017 where I couldn't be a part of it. But I'm grateful that I at least, you know, I got on his channel and he gave me a shout out, which I'm grateful for too. Like the night that happened, I got 1,000 subscribers in that month alone because of that shout out, and also because I struck gold with this one video I made about Dr. Phil and furries, and that was a really crazy month for me with all that going on. It was crazy.
Oh yes, I remember that one. We've actually did a podcast about it.
I genuinely don't remember any of the stuff we did 2 or 3 years ago involving the podcast, except for the podcast where I fell asleep. That was it.
Well, at least we have that kind of memory.
Like, oh man, DJ, we gotta get some life into this podcast. You know?
Alright, well, getting back onto that, what would you say actually has been your most controversial topic on your show? And looking at it now, do you regret touching that subject?
Yes, it was my video about being fat in the furry fandom. I don't know if you watched it or not. If you didn't, that's fine. But are you aware of that video?
No, I did not.
It is, I think, either my most disliked or my second most disliked video on my channel. It has like 75% like, 25% dislike. And the reason I didn't like the video is because it was very rushed, it was forced, and I didn't like it overall because I was if you go back and watch it, it's called Being Fat in the Furry Fandom. And it's also one of my most viewed videos, which I'm very not happy with the fact that it's one of my worst videos and it's also one of my most popular videos at the same time, so I'm not proud of it. But if you watch it, you can just see I'm so critical of like people who are overweight, and yet I still like agree with some of my statements, how it's your own personal responsibility of like your weight and everything. But however, the way I presented it and the way I was expressing it just made it seem like so hateful and not accepting, or like I was coming off so hostile and hateful. And also I was very ignorant. I didn't look up certain things, and some people in the comment section called me out. But thankfully I made a video in response to that a couple months later, and basically just calling out everything I said wrong. And I pretty much just did a reaction to my own video. It was just, I've redeemed myself since then, but still it's like a video. If people want to look at my channel or my videos, I'm like, don't watch that video, please. If you're curious, please don't watch it. Don't give it views, please. But that's it.
That's scrutiny at its finest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, exactly how has your perspective of the furry community changed over time?
It's gotten to a point where I do feel like quite a few people in the fandom are very sensitive. And there's something wrong with being sensitive, but when you get to the point where that's like interfering with other people's, livelihoods, or I get certain comments from certain people, which kind of like sour the bunch, which I shouldn't let it, but certain comments of people saying, I don't like this about your videos. I don't like you saying these things. These are offensive or something like that. And I'm like, it's my content to make, and I don't know. And I also, it's gotten to a point where when I make videos now, if they have like somewhat of controversial topics to them, I have to pretty much just get myself, and I have to be all like, I don't mean to offend anyone. I'm not trying to offend anyone. Please don't dislike the video, things like that. And I hate that I do that. And I got to do differently from that. And I got to like stop worrying about like offending people. And I have people in the comment section be like, dude, stop apologizing to the people that'll get offended. And yeah, if you don't like what I have to say, I should say in my own videos more, but if you don't like what I have to say, you can at least not like be like, oh, I hate this or something like that. But if you don't like it, then go watch something else. But I'm up for debate. I tend to be, for the most part, respectful whenever I talk about controversial stuff. I don't want to really antagonize any people directly in my videos. I'll call out some people's bullshit. I'll never use like certain names or anything in my videos. But yeah, for the most part, I want people to feel accepted in my videos. But however, don't try to like control me or demand like certain things from my videos, because these videos are free of charge to watch. I don't put like a paywall up to them, so you shouldn't complain about like, oh, I'm not going to subscribe because I don't like your content you make anymore. Like, you can give your criticism, but just don't freaking like demand me to change or something. Which, if this doesn't apply to everyone, it's only a few people in the comment section make that, and they piss me off. But everyone else, pretty fine. I have a, for the most part, accepting fan base. It's like the sour apples that are jerks and all, and then they unsubscribe after I don't give them what they want immediately.
It's always interesting simply because it's always the very few bad ones that just leaves a bad taste in our mouths, and it really impacts us the most.
It's unfortunate, and you shouldn't let that be the case, but most people do let it, and I do the same, and I need to stop. But when it comes to the positive stuff, like 90% of the people who comment on my videos, they tend to be really passable, and they are very accepting, and they really encourage me to make good content, and I appreciate them. So a lot of people have very sour fan bases, but I think for the most part, I've like made content that was mostly friendly, so most people in the comment section are nice, and they're not antagonizing. And I got people, and even if I don't agree with them on most things when I discuss in my videos, they're still nice for the most part. But yeah, I shouldn't let the few sour apples like make everyone else look like crap.
because that's just bad sauce.
Ew.
As much as I give flack to Cord Kitty and just about everyone else who isn't a sun-worshipping canine, and especially those who are dragons.
Dragons.
Yeah, back at you, Sal.
Oh my god. Low-key dissing your partner.
Nah, I'm always ditching dragons.
Or circles.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, canine side is the best side of the furry fandom.
Oh yeah, of course.
Incredibly racist.
Oh god.
Furry racism or something.
Oh, speciesism? Speciesism?
Yeah.
That's so stupid. That stuff's so stupid. Like, I remember back in the old days of Skype furries and everything like that, there would be people who would flat out be like, yeah, I'm gonna admit it. I'm like, I'm specious. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? They're just personas. It's not like actual race. What the hell? Like, oh, you can't trust a fox because they're a slut. Just persona! Anyway.
Yeah, you're so right. I do remember that.
Oh my god.
Those were dark days.
They were great days.
But why?
So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. And final question for you. A lot of things can happen when you're in the fandom. And I've heard a lot of stories. But what would be the most craziest experience you've ever had before in the fandom?
It probably had to be the time I saw someone post in a Skype group a picture of them in an adult diaper, and I nearly wanted to throw up when I saw that, and so I quickly left the group when I saw them post a picture of themselves in a diaper. And they had on a My Little Pony crop top. It was horrible, and they were 40-something. So
Yeah, that image really cannot get out of your head.
nope, and I'm sorry if I put it in yours.
That's alright, we've asked for it. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and finish this up here. We are definitely in overtime.
Yep, overtime.
It's a good thing we don't get paid by the hour. I wonder how
Pretty
that
much.
would work if I was CEO.
Oh my god, really? But are you gonna let me plug my social media or not, dude? Go on.
Go right ahead.
Thank you. If you want to find me online, follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/SeetherCord, SeetherCord. Subscribe to my channel right there. Check out videos, around 2 to 3 videos per week, usually. It's kind of a hard time for me. It's probably 1 to 2 videos per week, though. Yeah, check out that channel. Check out my gaming channel, SeetherCord Games, SeetherCordGames, for gameplay videos almost every day. Right now it's kind of stagnant because I have some editing to do in the trip coming up with my girlfriend, so probably every 3 days now, but it'll pick back up soon, I promise you that. Pretty much follow me on Twitter at SeetherCord. That's just how I spelt it, for updates on videos and everything like that. Follow me on Patreon. Yeah, get my donate and everything like that, $1 tier, $3 tier. It might be updated soon, but if you want to help out the channel, $1 or $3 will help out just fine. Or donate to my coffee if you want also to support me. It can be any amount or whatever. I think that's it. And make sure to check out Omega Republic and everything else like that. And we're out of here.
Yes, and we'll go ahead and put the links in the description as well. But like I said, not like any of you cheeky bastards read the descriptions. Am I right?
Yeah, put an end card for it, please. Or my channel or whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alright, we'll go ahead and see you guys next week.
Goodbye, everyone.